All right.
That
Yeah, I
was,
saw that. It was a really nice piece.
yeah.
Yes.
You know, it was exciting to have him there because I had asked you the week before if you'd ever heard of him. And there he was in live. And where I have the judge's remarks, he gave a really nice talk presentation. And then he said there were 160 entries, and he emphasized that only 7 to 8% received the cash awards. Typically, it's 13%. Second thing about beware of underpricing your work, I'm really guilty of that. And he says, no, because you're devaluing your work. So from now on, you can't get my pieces for cheap anymore.
Well, I think there's more to it than I mean, certainly you can put too low a price on a piece, but you know, frankly, as an art buyer, I've looked at pieces that have been overpriced in my estimation, so I've walked away from them. I don't necessarily agree with him that price is no object, because I think you have to, you know, there's a lot of evaluation that goes into things. I mean, photography is priced one way, oil painting's another, sculpture another, and you know, there's so much that goes into it. We could spend 40 minutes talking about that.
Yeah.
You know, Joan.
I understand, but I'm notoriously guilty for underpricing.
Well, people have told me that I've underpriced my stuff for years, but it's the way it goes. I mean, you either sell your work or you don't. And I'm always first.
Nice.
That's good. To talk about this real quick, you know, someone gave me a bunch of walnut, and walnut is very expensive wood, as Barry certainly knows. And so I had a lot of pieces, but they were fairly small pieces, and I tried to figure out what I was going to do with them. And this kind of struck me as being an idea, and so I kind of put it in place. And so this piece came out.
Like it.
Yeah.
Like it is a beautiful wood, isn't it?
Yeah. And the base is a beautiful piece of wood too.
It's really hard
black,
wood,
that
isn't
black
it?
acacia, yes. And that wood was actually given to me. So the cost of the wood in this piece is zero, thanks to a lot of very nice people. But I helped somebody cut the black acacia wood, so he gave me some pieces of it, which I made into like 5 different bases. So
Yeah, good.
that wood is
beautiful.
just unbelievably.
So it's
really
called
nice.
black acacia, but it's not black.
Right. Yeah, just like black
It's
walnut.
beautiful, really beautiful.
Beautiful.
This is one of my favorites. I like the way the 3 figures will put shadows against each other, and that adds to the depth. I love it. Is it new?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Very nice, Scott.
Mhm.
My kind of stuff.
I see an award coming up.
So I have some more of the same wood. So I've worked on some more pieces with different outlines of figures, and sort of working with putting some more pieces together later. So it'll be a
Scott,
series, I guess.
how did you attach the pieces to the base?
They're screwed on. You know, I drill holes through the black acacia and then countersunk the hole so that I could get a screw to go far enough into the walnut. And I do that a lot because there are times that, you know, pieces have to be repurposed, and by doing that, I'm able to use the base again or the piece again. And sometimes also I've used less attractive bases, and if somebody says they wanted a base in a different color or in a different medium like granite or something like that, I have the opportunity to do that by screwing it rather than gluing it and doweling it.
Good idea.
Beautiful. Barry.
Very.
Ooh, that's pretty, Barry.
That is.
Fantastic.
Well, I felt I had to do something new for you guys.
Mhm.
And it just happens that it's springtime in my yard.
Nice.
And there's a little bit of a story to this, because that's actually only half a painting. The right-hand half, there's a pathway and a tree that looked disgusting, so I cropped it off, and you just got the back slope. with all the daisies and the different stuff flowering there. So it is what my backyard looked like for a little bit.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, I think it's one of your best pieces, Barry. I really love it.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't know you were so friendly with vibrant colors.
Well, I guess it's the flowers in the garden gave them to me.
It's very impressionistic, and I love the yeah, very bold.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Going to listen.
Nice.
I think you ought to go this way with your painting style.
Oh, I
I
don't
know,
know.
I like it.
Depends on the mood.
Are you sure the other half was not good? Because this is beautiful. I don't know if I believe you.
Well, the other judge in the house told me it was terrible. The pathway was standing up straight, and
Fire her.
Nice.
That's great. It's beautiful.
Thanks for sending it.
Mhm.
Very nice, Barry.
Very nice.
Oh,
There you go.
Ooh, Pico.
yeah, that's my piece. It's the first time I've actually publicly started to show some of my ceramic pieces. And this particular piece is an Aztec god. It has the longest name in the Aztec gods. It's got 21 letters, and it's the rising Venus star. It's one of 4 gods that hold the universe up, and it's also the 12th hour of the 13-hour Mexican calendar. And so I decided to put it together. These are glazes. They're not glazes. They've only been fired twice.
Mm.
So that the real richness of the clay
Pico, how do you pronounce that?
I was going to say, if you can pronounce it, you can have it.
I know. but yeah, by glazing, these are all different colors of clay. They haven't been glazed. It's a natural color of the clay.
Oh,
And so I commingle the clay. They say you can't do that, but I do it, and I fire them that way, and so you get this look. I think I'm not going to glaze it. I'm going to put it behind some kind of plate and mount it.
yeah.
I agree. The natural colors are beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's one of 5 panels. It's my smallest panel. I got one that's 4 by 5, and then
Whoa.
3 other large ones.
Are you saying that this is all one piece of clay, or
No, it's all
it's all
made up
individual
of a bunch
pieces?
of little pieces of clay,
Oh.
but they're different types of clay. Some are from a dark brown, some are light white, and so I commingle and mix them that way so that I get a cut without having to glaze them with regular glaze. I thought I'd try something.
Now, how do you piece them together? It's really, really intricate.
Well, they're in separate pieces. Some of them are together, like the legs and the bottom are maybe one piece, and other pieces. And I do the layout on computer-aided design, and then from that I make the pieces.
But how do you put the little pieces all together?
I use slip to join them together when they're still green, and I use vinegar because vinegar doesn't shrink when it dries. And so they stay together. If you use regular water shrinks and they can separate from the clay, from other pieces of clay. And it's kind of like a secret that Trent Baring told me about.
So now you're going to take this piece and you're going to mount it kind of like we see it now. You're going to mount that to a
Right.
plate, you said?
on a maybe small plates, like tile, and then I'm going to put a frame. Now I don't know if I'm going to put a wooden frame around it. That's when
Somebody we know.
somebody we know.
Cool, Pico, is this actually 21 by 17, the way it's
Wait,
marked here in this photograph? Is
Michael,
it that large, 21 by 17?
Yeah, that's the size of the piece, or else I'll make the frame out of clay, which is what I've done before. In the last 4 pieces, I made them out out of clay. The actual,
Pico, did you mean you use vinegar straight or don't you dilute it with water?
no,
And you meant vinegar, right?
yep,
Okay.
straight vinegar.
Uh-huh.
People look at me like, what the hell am I using?
Great idea.
It's really good.
It's really an impressive piece, Pico. I mean, the intricacy in this piece, I don't know if I've seen that in all of your pieces as much as it is evident.
This is one I haven't shown at all.
Yeah, it's really
Mhm.
awesome.
In the
I
work.
like it a lot. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Would you mind telling me how to pronounce the name?
Well, yeah, it's Tacoluzicala Palestania.
Seriously.
Trust me,
Like it. It's wonderful.
trust me, when I had to make this slide, I didn't try to type the name. I copy and pasted because I didn't want to be blamed for anything.
You spelled it wrong. No.
Yeah, I have a nameplate that will be going the very bottom of the piece, and then I have my ceramic piece with the name Pico on it,
Yeah,
which will go on the bottom
It's
too.
it's wonderful.
yeah,
Wonderful.
great. Thanks.
Amazing.
Shadow box, yeah.
Yeah, a shadow box effect of some sort might be kind of interesting when you frame it.
Interesting. That might
It'd have
work.
to be quite a bit larger though than the piece.
Yeah, you know something, I think you don't want to have a frame take away from that piece, Pico.
Yep.
Yeah.
And because we're kind of seeing on a white background, and I think it looks just fabulous. A frame might take away from it, the impact of
Good
it.
point. That definitely, because it's got more contrast. This is kind of, I wrote it, I said a watercolor experiment because I dabble a little bit in watercolor. Obviously, I'm not that good, but I had a picture of a lady and I said, well, let me try it. So I was happy with the jacket. I felt that really looks like suede. You know, it's got that feeling. And so there's certain things I really, really like about it for me that accomplish some things. So, you know, it's just a lady and I think it came out halfway decent for me, who doesn't do
Yeah.
work.
Very nice.
Great, Eileen. The sweater looks
Great.
very like a sweater too, you know, I mean, you got good texture and both. It looks great.
But yeah, I felt good about that. You know, I've accomplished, as I said, certain things that, and I meet with a group of ladies on Zoom that are real good watercolors and they liked it. So I feel really good about that. You know, if they sign up, that means it's at least a good experiment.
Very nice.
I like the way the bright red kind of brings it all together.
Yeah, you know, I see things like we all do when you do something that I'm not happy with, but I'm learning, so whatever. I used to accomplish what I wanted.
Looks good.
Well, I enjoy it very much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right.
Yeah, thanks, Eileen.
Thank you.
Yeah, very much.
Enjoy.
Nice.
Now.
Oh.
we're doing the questions.
Yeah, this is it, and my assignment for my watercolor class.
Awesome.
Instructor required us to have a subject on the top and extend the other part to the bottom, whatever you can do.
Nice.
So it's very challenging to me, and I finally I thought I need abstract to express this. So I just paint the abstract.
It's beautiful, Joy.
Thank you.
What kind of paper did you use to paint on?
This is cheap paper. And it's not a cotton paper, but it's 140 pounds. Yeah.
It's very nice. Very awesome.
Oh, thank
Very
you.
nice.
It is, Joy. Who's your
Beautiful.
teacher, Joy?
Awesome.
Thank
Beautiful
you.
Your teacher.
texture.
Mhm.
Well, you know, I like what I understand that the teacher wanted you to have more blank stuff down here, but probably if it were mine anyway, I like what's up here. You see how you're blank at the top and then you've got some texture in this area and then this other thing here. That helps me with the top part. But for me, I think maybe I would try and do some other little things in here because it seems to be a little bit empty right here for
Yeah,
me.
I
Like,
agree.
what you started to do here could have been maybe lightened up and bring a little texture down at the bottom, lighter than what's here. Yeah.
Mm.
You agree, Eileen?
Yeah, I do. I was saying to Pico, she could crop it. I mean,
Yeah.
I would crop it a little bit.
If it were
Okay.
cropped about here, just
All
Right,
right.
chop off
exactly.
that bottom, well, then yeah, it's a little disturbing to have this all flat.
Yeah, it pulls my eye down, takes away from the top.
Okay.
Well,
Okay, that's
I
good.
kind of like this the way it is.
Yeah, I do too. It gives a good 3D effect the way it is right now.
I like it the way it
Oh,
flows.
good.
The yellow
That's what makes
really
good.
jumps out at you.
It gives it more impact with what your teacher has suggested that you do, I think. Who's your teacher, Joy?
Items?
Adams,
Yeah.
Diane Adams.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's realistic.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's great.
I think,
I
you
think
know,
it's gorgeous. It gives you some resting space for your eyes down there, I think, personally.
I think it gives it impact. I mean, it's, you know, if you cropped it off and you cut off like the bottom 2/3, it would just be kind of a normal, not a
That's
very
true.
beautiful painting, but it would
Yeah,
just
that's
kind of be
true.
a normal painting. But then when you add this flowing thing, that it just gives it all this depth and impact, I think, to it.
I agree.
It's
It
good.
also kind of looks like there's you would imagine maybe that there's a river running down below,
Water, yes.
maybe, you know, so that it's sort of like over a cliff. And so, I don't know.
Okay.
I like it. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, Joy.
Sure.
Oh, so this one is.
Another sea cliff.
Oh, is there another sea cliff? Oh,
The one before was a
This-
cliff and now yours is a cliff.
oh,
Yeah.
you're right. This was a paint over. I had some stuff laying around that I wasn't really happy with that, you know, I kind of felt like needed something. I feel like if they sit there long enough, you have to do something with them if you don't like them. So the only thing that remained of this one was the color. Some of that turquoise color on the top left side. And then I added just a bunch of marks and I tried to make it look kind of like a water splashing with some stenciling and I guess mostly mark making. And then I also tried to vary the thickness of the paint. So on the right side, you can't really see it, but the paint is really thick in the light section.
Mhm.
That's pretty
Anyway.
big. It's pretty big, 30 inches.
Yeah, it's a pretty good size one.
Yeah, nice. Nice.
You know, Chris, I guess beauty is in the eye of the beholder, I guess, because this is to me one of your best. I mean, I would grab it in a minute. I'll send you my credit card number.
I'll take it.
I love these dark the strength of this. There's a lot of feeling. It just brings out emotions to me. And then it's restful here, but the colors and just the tech, just the whole thing. The judge told me about one of my pieces that it grabbed him. Well, this one here really grabs me. So one of my
Thanks.
Yeah.
Chris, I got that same impression of what you just said, which is you wanted it to be like sea spray or whatever ocean. That was my initial impression, especially
Oh, good.
following Joy. It's kind of like this
Yeah.
would be what was at the bottom left of Joy's painting.
Right.
But
They could
I think they would look
yes.
great, you know, next to each other in a show.
Send another credit card.
Yeah.
We'll take a quick peek. So here's Joy's, and then there's this one here. I think I like the way it feels like it's cropped in, and you're getting the immediacy of the brushwork and the paint. But anyway, that's me.
Like it very much, Chris. In the upper right corner, there's a mesh kind of thing. Is that something you applied?
That's a stencil.
Mm-hmm.
That and there's some somewhere else. I think down underneath the black marks.
Yeah.
Can you see my pointer? No, down in here.
Thanks a lot, Chris.
Beautiful,
got such,
Chris.
it's got such a nice mixture of textures
Yeah,
as well as
I
color.
love it.
Very nice.
Thank you. Oh,
Wow.
cool.
I told you I was digging through all my old stuff from 40 years ago. I'm throwing away stuff, but I found things that looked interesting, and this is one of them. I didn't even know I had it. So I guess back in the
I
day,
like it.
I like colors a lot better back in the day. Nowadays, I can't do color.
I love this, John. I just love it.
Yeah, it's real good.
So
Very
cool.
good.
That's great.
It is.
It's
Not-
really interesting. It draws you right into the painting.
Oh, yeah.
It
You know,
does.
it draws you right into it.
The shapes, the
Mhm.
Yeah.
lines, the colors, everything. Fabulous,
What are the-
Troy.
What are the
Yeah,
words,
John.
John? I'm so sorry.
What was that?
On the bottom, it says not, or I can't read it, N-O-T,
You
or,
know, I went through such a trauma. I was self-destructive back then, my early 20s, you know, suicidal, disturbed, all kinds. So I a lot of my work had a lot of emotion, you know, so who knows what I was trying to say.
okay, I just wanted,
It's a self-portrait, huh?
Yeah, and I didn't think too much of myself back then, so, you know,
Well, it looks pretty nice painting.
yeah,
Yeah, it is.
yeah.
Yeah.
And now
Very
that I look back at it 40 years later, it looks really nice. Thanks, everyone.
I,
Yeah, it
Very
looks
nice,
great.
Joan.
very nice.
I love the color.
And the background too. I like the
Oh,
background.
yes.
Yeah.
Gotta put that in the San Marcos show. So,
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of like this suggestion of bricks right here.
Yeah.
And yeah, who knows?
Very interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. Thanks.
Very interesting painting.
Is that
Yeah.
acrylic or what?
Yes, yes, it is acrylic, and it's a smaller piece. It's probably about 8 by 10, but it's kind of a fauve feel to it. And I for a little while I did a series of these skulls, and so this was my fauve entry in my little series.
Yeah.
It looks like an animal skull, Carol. Was that
It is.
what you were?
It
Okay.
is. Yeah, it's kind of like it's, I guess, channeling Georgia O'Keeffe with her desert.
Yeah.
Those are absolutely amazing. It would look fantastic if it was really, really big.
Mhm.
Yeah, actually, it would. You're right.
I could see this just cover almost the whole wall. It's really cool.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
You're right about the scale.
Yeah. I love your expressive brushwork here. What you must have scraped away right here, and then this brushwork is really, really nice. Just very nice treatment. Beautiful. Thanks, Carol.
Yeah, very good.
Well, I was just messing around, and
Gorgeous.
the texture is paper underneath and gel medium, and then painted over the top. And I don't know, I just get in these mood, you know, I try to just let when I'm drawing or painting, try to just let my mind get out of the way and just do stuff. And that's what one of these is. So it's not always very successful, but this was kind of a fun one. And that's why I named it Tall Bird, because obviously the point of the flamethrower is the most important image in the painting, but you know, I wanted to call it
Like it.
Tall Bird.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nice colors.
Awesome. It's kind of mysterious looking,
Yes.
you know, like and mystical.
Mm-hmm.
I really love the juxtaposition of the human and the long-legged bird.
Yes.
It's just, you know, you keep staring at it.
It's not one of your alien experiences, is it?
It could be. You never know.
Cindy, did you say how long ago you did this?
Oh, gosh, I'm not sure. Several years ago.
Yeah.
Nice.
You know, my eye was drawn to the figure, and I didn't even notice the bird until you mentioned the bird. Isn't that
Yeah.
funny? I was just so focused on that figure.
Then it pops out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. I like the way you have that light color in the background, around the body. It kind of gives it a like a ghostly look.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, the light coming around it. Yeah.
Makes me want to know the story. It feels like it's almost some mythology behind it. What does it mean? I crave an explanation now. You need to tell us.
I wish I could. The thing I really enjoy the most is when I just let my hands start doing without getting my mind in the way. And if you just sit there and try that, you'd be surprised what comes out, So, and then I try not to correct things, like I think it should be this or that. I just let it be whatever that I call it my non-thinking paintings. So, anyway.
That's a good idea. Well, I
Mhm.
think those things in the background look like pyramids. I think about Egypt.
Well,
Yeah.
I think of mountains in
Oh,
Grand Teton.
Himalayas.
Yeah.
Is this texture here from the underpainting? It works very nicely.
Yes. Well, it's not painting, it's paper that I
Oh.
smushed up and laid on there first and then painted around it.
Mhm. Yeah.
oh, so the paper's still in there.
Yeah, the paper's in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice. Thank you, Sandy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Ooh,
Oh,
pretty. Rika, I like that.
Thanks. So
Pretty.
this is the lady who contacted me who wanted a companion piece to something she bought
Oh,
years
yeah.
ago.
Mhm.
And I just think it's so fun to paint glass. It's almost like there's nothing but you have to make something. And yeah, I like it. I mean, it's not mysterious in any way. It is what it is, but it's just nice.
I
Easy.
like the way, I like the way you offset the stems in the glass, how they move back and forth, which is what they normally do.
Yeah, and when you look at it, I'm like, oh, this is not gonna look pretty, but this is what it looks like.
Yeah, no, that's
Right.
great.
And the
And
glasses
I
glasses
are
like
are
the way
great.
the flower.
Yeah, the glasses are
I
great.
like the
It's hard to
flowers
do
off the
that.
page too.
I kind of like when it comes off the page, which is also a good trick when you don't size it right and it comes off whatever you do. So
Well,
I'll
you
just
have-
pretend it's
I like
on
that.
purpose.
Yeah, you have it in progress. What's gonna happen? What is your?
Well, just a little bit more definition, a little bit more contrast.
Yeah,
Not much more, but a little
No, it
bit.
doesn't look like it needs anything.
I would, on the left-hand flower, which
Yes.
doesn't have that centerpiece, yeah.
Mhm.
I would
It needs
like
a
to
little
put
bit, yeah.
A little bit of color in there so that it kind of balances it all.
Absolutely. Yep.
But
And a
I
little
think
bit
it's-
more,
I
just a
think
little
it's
bit more
fabulous just the way it is.
Yeah.
I think this is the perfect color for the background. It sets everything off. That was genius. This
Oh, it's genius, you say? Could you repeat that?
it complements the blues, it complements the pinks, and it just
Great.
makes a nice setting for the whole thing.
Thank you. It's actually, everything is white. It's the same piece of cloth it's on and it's in the background, but I really do love the variations of white. I can't remember. I think it's Edward Hopper. He has some big painting. I saw it, MoMA, I believe, or the Whitney. And it's just, most of the painting is a big white wall and it's got all the colors in it. And I just love that.
Yeah, I think it's
So,
perfect, except for that little
A little
thing.
bit of a trying to mimic that.
I can make room for that in my walls.
Yeah, me too.
One secret about clay, you fire it high.
Yeah.
No,
Are you
this
trying
is-
to fire
higher
Eileen?
The higher you fire the clay, the more rich the colors come out.
Well, that was a good show.
Liz, there
It
you
was.
are.
It was a good show.
Yeah, and Helen?
You're muted.
Here.